Initial D starts when Fujiwara Takumi, a high school student with astonishing driving talent but no experience street racing, suddenly appears one night behind a skilled street racer, Takahashi Keisuke, and passes him. This moment creates a ripple effect, both in Takumi's experience with the underground street racing world and the way the street racing world reacts to him. No one can believe the story of this Toyota Sprinter AE86 Terreno and its unbelievable drift on the downhill of Mount Akina. Street racers from around the region come to challenge Takumi and to see his extraordinary driving technique. Initial D's first season, which is unofficially referred to as First Stage, mostly follows this pattern. Takumi beats a street racer. Another street racer shows up with either a better car or a different challenge. Then Takumi races them and defeats them. Repeat. And for all the thrills Initial D provides, the meaning behind the races on the show are much deeper than adrenaline-fueled chases. One of the key ideas that the first season explores is this notion of a street racer's pride. Keisuke tells Takumi that,
お前は自分でも気づいてねえかもしれねえけど、本心は車の運転が好きに決まってんだ。いいか、車を走らせることが好きなら、それで十分走り屋なんだよ。走り屋なら自分が走り込んで身につけた技術にプライド持てよな。挑戦されたら受けるのが走り屋のプライドってもんだ。
The characters of Initial D spend almost all their free time and money on their cars and improving their driving technique. They even join racing teams where they can spend their time helping each other get better, as well as defending each other when a rival team challenges them. Put simply, a street racer's pride is about dedicating time to something they love and being proud of it. Because there is so much time and money and love going into their racing skills, their skills become an extension of who they are, both in terms of their personalities and what they are capable of. Ultimately, this is what the series revolves around. Drivers are not just racing, but testing the abilities they are dedicating their lives to building. It just so happens those abilities involve driving as fast as they can, illegally, on mountain passes, and often in an attempt to overtake their opponents in a race to the finish line. Each race Takumi has, both he and his opponent experience these personal challenges and feelings. Even though Initial D evolves over the course of the series, this theme of the drivers testing themselves persists.
だけど爽快だったよ。こんなのは久しぶりだ。何もかも忘れてステアリングと格闘してたからな。
Except second stage, which is about coming to terms with your limitations.
お前、エンジン壊れたの自分のせいだと思ってんだろ。勘違いすんな。
Nearly every driver Takumi defeats in the first season makes some comment about how wonderful it was to be able to express the best driving technique they could in their race against him.
負けたけど、すごい充実感あるよ。思い出せたよ。走り始めたばっかりの頃のあのワクワクする感じ。
And fourth stage magnifies this theme because it puts Takumi and Keisuke on a racing team that takes on progressively more difficult opponents. But it is the fifth stage where the theme of drivers testing their abilities and the concept of a street racer's pride matures and blossoms. While a street racer's pride has been what's at stake in previous stages, in fifth stage, a street racer's pride helps drivers transform themselves for the better. For Takahashi Keisuke, he manages to use his consistent focus on his driving skills and practice sessions to mature as a street racer and as a man. From the start of the series, Keisuke is in Takumi's shadow. He is the first racer to lose to Takumi, and he carries this loss with him the entire series. We as the viewer are aware of it too. For a little while at least, it's difficult to consider that Keisuke is anywhere near as good as Takumi, especially when Keisuke seems so impulsive and angry. Keisuke's brother, Ryosuke, is the leader of their team and organizes their strategies in addition to managing the team's growth and sometimes Keisuke's emotions.
心底頭に来たぜ。
ガードレールに当たり散らしている暇はないぜ。
Each battle, Ryosuke seems to have a specific tactic in mind, which he communicates to Takumi and Keisuke. Sometimes it is something specific, like giving an opponent a 7-second advantage.
多すぎても少なすぎても失敗するぞ。忘れるなよ、ケイスケ。
And sometimes it is vague.
バトルの最中にあれと思ったら思い出せ。相手はシングルタービンだってことを。
え？何それ？意味わかんねえよ。
And often it seems like without the tactic, Takumi and Keisuke might lose their race. In 5th stage, however, Keisuke evolves past using his brother's strategies. He has spent enough time practicing the training his brother established, and instead of using a specific tactic, Ryosuke no longer has anything to offer Keisuke.
こんな嬉しい誤算はない。最終戦に間に合った。とっておきの切り札はケイスケそのものだ。
Keisuke, and the technique he's been building so long, is enough, all on its own. He's now a mix of his fiery spirit and his technical capability, but the love he has for racing and his self-worth have only grown.
悲壮感たっぷりなコメントの割には楽しそうだよな。
楽しいよ。体の芯からワクワクする。
5th stage even goes as far as using driving to heal emotional wounds. In this season, we learn that Takahashi Ryosuke and his friend and mentor, Hojo Rin, were once in love with the same woman, Kaori. Their mutual love for her, in part, led to her suicide. After her death, Hojo Rin isolated himself from his work and his family. On the anniversary of Kaori's death, Ryosuke participates in a street race against Hojo Rin, even though he knows Hojo Rin will use the race to try and kill them both. Through their race, Ryosuke ends up saving Hojo Rin's life when his car's brakes fail. In doing so, they've used their street racing skills to express how they feel. Hojo Rin is allowed to use his racing talent to explore his desire to kill Ryosuke and himself, and explore his overwhelming pain from the loss of Kaori. While Ryosuke is allowed to explore his feelings of guilt for Kaori's suicide and for Hojo Rin's isolation. It is only when truly faced with death while racing that the two men are forced to use their street racing skills to save themselves and each other, both physically
いる。
and spiritually.
香りが来ている。だけど今夜、お前と走って何かが吹っ切れた気がするよ。お前も俺と同じ苦しさを抱えている。それがよく分かったんだ。すまなかったな、凌介。感謝している。無視しようと思えばそうすることもできたのに、お前は来てくれた。お前と走れて満足だ。心からそう言える。
As silly as a street racer's pride might sound when you describe it, it's more than just winning or losing that's at stake. It is a pure expression of your innermost desires. That's why all the characters that lose to Takumi and Keisuke say they feel refreshed after their loss. They've expressed the best racing they can and forced themselves beyond their limits to try and overcome an obstacle and failed. But instead of giving up or feeling ashamed, they are reminded of what made them fall in love with racing in the first place, and that they will continue to pursue the love in their hearts and the finish line on the streets, that they will continue to rage their dream.